So I think one of my favorite parts about The Distance Between Us is the diversity of women in her book. She describes all of the women's lives that surround her in such interesting and complex ways. The first one that I'm going to talk about is Juana, her mom. She had to adjust to become the leader of the house the first time that the father left. She had to emotionally take care of the kids, and financially she had to come up with a way to supplement what they needed past the remittances that the father sent. And after they divorced, she had to find her way back to Mexico, had to reface her community, had to learn to be a mother again. And she straddled this line in between this absentee, abandoning her children mom who had her own life and sense of independence, and also a mother who tried her best to take care of her kids. But she craved this freedom. But she was responsible for the children because she was the woman of the house. But that sometimes just wasn't enough for her, and eventually she ended up acting selfishly, but acting in this way that gave her more independence as a woman. The next woman is Mago, Reina's older sister, also known as the Little Mother, who took care of the younger kids when Juana wasn't there. And she had to face this responsibility at a very young age, to be the little mother of her two younger siblings, and then eventually her third younger sibling, Betty. And she had to stand up against both of her parents for her younger siblings, against Abuela Avila, against her uncle. She had to just stand up for them and sometimes take the beatings that the younger kids couldn't handle. Eventually she did venture out and make it on her own without her father or her mother. She got a full-time job, she left college, but she did graduate high school. She was the first one in her family to graduate high school. She became a self-sufficient woman by working full-time. She got a car, she got her own home with the roommate, but she got her own home, and eventually she got pregnant. She didn't get married. She wasn't tied to these cultural ideals of marriage first, kids later. She did what she wanted, and she stood up for what she believed in. Okay, so the third female was Betty, who was the youngest daughter, and she rebelled completely. She was an American-born citizen. She got pregnant really, really young. She joined a gang. She became tough and independent in her own, albeit maybe wrong, way, but she still did what she wanted. She still believed in her own empowerment, however she saw fit to find it. And then Mila was introduced as a strong female who was self-respecting, who didn't ever bend to Natalio's will. Natalio's the dad. She always spoke her mind. She was strong in her introduction. She was self-respecting. She did what she wanted. She left her first husband for Natalio. And when he hit her the first time, she left him. But then she didn't leave for good, and eventually she returned. And the second time he hit her, she left again, but then returned again. And it doesn't mean that she didn't love herself or wasn't a feminist, but she was complex. She had her own battles to fight with. And leaving isn't as easy as people might think. Now finally, Reina Grande, the author, the whole focus of this memoir, she had a hard battle with her feminism. She took a while to grow into it. Her father forbade her from attending university or from seeing her sister, so she wouldn't become a loose woman like Mago. But then she rebelled by losing her virginity to a boy she didn't love in her father's house to show him that she could be loose right under his nose. And then she went to community college. She met a wonderful teacher who let her move in with her. She left her father's home. She became self-sufficient, got a college degree, became a best-selling author, wrote all of these wonderful feminist Chicana books. She found her own way. It just took her a while to get there. She didn't really grow into her feminism until college, which I think is the story for a lot of young women. And I think that it's great that Reina Grande shows all of these different types of women and how they enacted their own female empowerment and all the differences that female empowerment can encompass.